Our plum tree is flowering. There's a lot of pollinators on it, and I think that's a great way to start this video. This video is about some beekeeping equipment I'm selling. The lawnmower is just a prop. It's not for sale, but there's a beekeeping suit. There's a bunch of hive components, a lid, 2 books, a smoker, and a box full of other stuff. I'm going to start with, it's all in different conditions. We bought it and some of it's never been used. We had bees in the hives for a few months, but then we stored them for 6 or 7 years, and during the storage mice got into them, so most of the damage is going to be caused by mice in the hive set. So I want to talk pretty in depth about that in a couple moments. There's some other components in here. Like this is smoker fuel, so that's a bag. Feels like about a pound of it. This is a screen, which there's another screen in there, so I don't know what this one's for, but it's part of the beekeeping set. This is an extra smoker, but it's got a hole in it, so that just goes along. We've got a beehive brush. We've got a pry bar that goes for beehives. Got a couple boards that are part of the beehive build, extra boards. And these bags are all extra nails. Here's a mouse-eaten paper that shows you how to build the beehive. Yeah, I think all of these are extra nails for the beehive. So, I'm going to start with the base of the beehive. We've got it was a high quality base. It's kind of gotten old. Underneath here we see some mouse damage on that. And this is almost rotting, this little board. I would definitely use it, but figure you're going to be replacing it in a couple of years. The next is, it's got the separator screen, which is part of a high quality set if you actually were doing that. Then there's the bottom board. This is like the base of the beehive. You're probably going to want to put some wood putty in this little spot where mice chewed it. Might not be necessary there, but this one is almost definitely necessary to put some wood putty in there. And then we've got 3 main bodies of the hive. This one's short. No, there's 4. All right. There's 2 short ones, 2 big ones. I think you're supposed to put the big ones on the bottom and the small ones on the top. The big ones are like the main body of the hive, and then the small ones are supers, which tells me what this is. Back to this piece. That's a queen separator. You put it on top of the hive bodies below the supers, so they can only put honey in the supers. Anyway, here is the first body we'll talk about. There's some small damage to the frame, or to the foundation on that. No real frame damage, just foundation damage. That's got a big, about 4-inch by 6-inch hole. This doesn't have much damage. But anyway, a lot of these foundations are damaged, so as you evaluate if this is the right product for you, take that in consideration. There's one with a small hole. Now there's 2 small holes on this one. No, 3. So that's, it had a mouse nest in, and this, well, that's where my bees actually started trying to make a hive back when I had bees. Anyway, there's a lot of mouse nest stuff in there. Some of the other one, there's at least one other mouse nest in there, and I cleaned the other one out. The actual wooden body of this is still in working condition. We kept it in a dry spot so it didn't get any rain damage or anything. I'm going to put that on top of the hive now. So now we got one base on here. And I'm going to pull this away. This is the next one. We've got more damage, I'm going to bet. So I can't even get that one up. Let's start with a different one. All right, that's got some damage. This is the worst spot. This was where the big hive was. Well, something's making it so you can hardly get them out. Okay, this piece of the foundation is almost gone. Alright, I don't know what that is, but it's holding this in place. Feels like some type of bug. Tell me in the comments if you know what type of bug would do that. But anyway, this is probably mouse damage to this. And the hive is basically, the foundation is basically worn out. Your bees could fix that if they're a really strong hive. I'd recommend replacing the foundations for better results. More honey production. This one's got a big missing spot in it. That one's actually almost good. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is most of the foundations are messed up. You'll probably be replacing a bunch to make this a working hive. So I'm posting this for my YouTube channel just for people to see what happens to a honeybee hive when you leave it sitting for multiple years. This one is also basically gone. All the foundation, it should look like this one, but the foundation is basically gone out of that one. So storing it in a dry place where mice could get to it was not a good decision. If you haven't figured that out by now. So these are going to go on top of the main hive set here. I'm going to pause the video while I stick it on. Alright, we're back. There's two main bodies. So what you would do for a normal honey production is you'd keep the bees in here. This is their main entrance right here. And you want it more level than this. This is kind of on flat, or it's on unlevel ground. But then you'd put the bees in here and let them grow a while. And then you'd set the queen excluder on top, and then you put the supers on, and the honey they make in those lower cases is going to be for the bees to live on. The honey they make in the upper cases, it's going to be to sell. So these are called supers, because I don't really know why. That one's got a little bit of mouse damage on there. Well, a lot on the bottom of that one. Yeah, the foundation on these supers is starting to look okay, but the wood got chewed by mice. So, I guess if you're ever storing honey equipment or bee equipment, you want to store it in a mouse-free location. Or just keep it with bees in, and maybe probably would have done better with bees in it. But we have some difficulties that cause us not to ever get the bees once our first batch of bees went away or died or something. I don't think they died because there weren't very many dead bees in here. I think they found a new home somewhere. Okay, that's a lot better condition than the bases for foundation, but it goes on top like that. Tell me in the comments if I'm missing anything or not giving good details for how to raise bees. What happened when we got this was we found somebody, we were selling honey at the time, and somebody called us and said, hey, we've got a bee swarm in our backyard. They were in a town, so they were asking who could come and get it. And so we went and bought the whole beekeeping equipment that day to go take care of it. Alright, this super is not in as good condition. We got another mouse nest, bunch of missing foundation. That board is chewed through by mice. So the whole beginner beekeeping set back 7 or 8 years ago when we bought this was like $450, and we're going to be trying to sell it for $300. If we don't get it sold within about a week, we'll probably be flexible on that price. If it's less than a week, we'll probably be pretty firm. There's more damage. Tell me in the comments if you think that's fair, too high, too low. I'm sure the value of a new good condition set has gone up a lot in that time, but this is not in good condition. So there's some more missing foundation, more hive that, okay. So there we got this. I'll pause it while I put it on. All right, well, there it is, all standing up. There's one more piece here, and this is the top. That goes on top and protects it. That's a heavy-duty plasticky, I think it's made from recycled plastic. So that's probably kept the best. We haven't kept it clean, but it's still in working condition. We have this we never used, the bellows. I don't know much about how the bellows work, so if probably tells you how in these books. The books go with it. And all these parts I told you already. And now for the beekeeping equipment. This has been in storage too for quite a few years, so it's quite dirty, and we don't know if you're supposed to wash it like a machine wash or delicates or anything like that. So we're going to sell it as is. The lawnmower is not included. Here are the gloves. At least there doesn't seem to be any significant mouse damage to any of this. Those are beekeeping gloves. And this is pretty dirty too. This is the top part, like upper body protection. And here I'm seeing 2 holes at least. There's one by my thumb, another by that thumb in this. So mice have gotten into this netting, and I don't know if you see it there where my thumb is. There's another, so I don't think you may want to replace this mask or sew it up really good. I think there's one on the front too, right here. So either a lot of sewing to get that working, or replace it. So that is our beekeeping set. Tell me in the comments if you think I'm charging too much, too little, or whatever. Yeah, we're tired of storing it. It's not been good for it to be stored. So hope that works. Thank you. Goodbye.